and welcome to Smoke Sessions. Today on Smoke Sessions, we are going to be talking about something very near and dear and true to my heart. Today we're going to be talking about scoliosis. It's something I've been living with for 14 years now. Holy cow. And I feel like there's not enough information about it out there, especially for people who are younger, the people who are being diagnosed with this. I find that it's a relatively unheard of illness, which is weird because, I mean, the people who get it are kids, basically. So this video is basically for anybody who knows someone who's going through who just got diagnosed with scoliosis or is going through, you know, stuff related to scoliosis, people themselves who are going through stuff, parents. It's really just informative, and I will tell you about my story and about how I deal with things. So yeah. So what scoliosis is it is curvature of the spine. Basically, it's when your spine isn't straight. There is in everyday, like in normal people, everybody has a slight curvature of their spine. But when it gets past a certain point, it's considered scoliosis. So 15 years ago, I went to the doctor's office because I was having these horrible, horrendous shooting pains in my back, in my spine specifically. It would usually happen when I would like lay down and get back up again, and it felt like somebody had taken my spine and like shoved it in an outlet, in like an electrical outlet, and that I was being like literally like electrocuted. It was terrible, like blinding pain. It was horrifying. So when I was at the doctor's office, I was diagnosed with severe scoliosis. I was 11 years old and I was absolutely terrified. I thought I was going to die. Oh, it was so scary. I just remember when the doctor, she like lifted up the back of my shirt and she looked at my mom and said, "Oh, she has severe scoliosis." My mom told me that she just saw like this wave of fear flash over my face because I had no idea. I had no idea what the hell it was. So my spine had progressed. My scoliosis had progressed so badly within like almost the span of a month. I went from not having scoliosis at all to needing surgery within the next couple months. My surgery was then scheduled for December 23rd of 2000. My spine, the middle curve, because I had 3 curves in my spine, there's something called an S curve, which I technically had, and that's where you have usually 2 curves, or there's just, gosh, I'm not even sure what the other one's called, a C curve I think it's called, and that's just, there's a curvature in the middle of it. I had a curvature at the top, a curvature in the middle, and then another curvature down at the base of my spine. The one on top and the one on bottom were both 40-degree angles, and the one in the middle was a 90-degree angle. So I was actually sick for my first surgery schedule date, because I lived in Michigan, and in Michigan in December, it's prime flu season. You know, so everybody's sick, really. I had a really bad cough, and my doctor didn't feel like he wanted to, you know, open up my spine, or open up my back and operate on my spine when I had, like, a terrible cough. So I went and had my 11-hour surgery on January 30th, 2001, which is 2 weeks before my 12th birthday. I was in the hospital for about a week. It wasn't the worst experience I've ever had. Obviously not the best, though. The worst thing I think about being in the hospital was my hair. This is not This is not how I kept my hair most of the time. I always had really long hair. And my hair was in this like mass after my surgery. And I had a nurse at Children's Hospital in Detroit, Michigan. Hospital's amazing. I had a nurse there spend 3 hours my last night detangling my hair. 3 hours and an entire bottle of that Jergens like detangler stuff. It was absolutely ridiculous. So that was probably about the worst part of the whole thing. So during my surgery, what they did was they took my spine and they broke it essentially and straightened it out, and then they pinned, like they took all of these pins and like placed it, probably shouldn't be flipping people off, and they placed it down the side of my spine and they pinned these like 2 metal rods down each side. I have stainless steel. I hear now that they don't even use stainless steel, they use all titanium, but when I had my surgery they only used titanium if you were allergic to steel. So it's been 14 years now, and while my curvature is gone, I still am living with the after effects of having scoliosis. My scoliosis was making everything in my chest crushed, essentially. So I still do live with breathing problems because of my spine being so messed up, and I deal with physical pain, especially in my lower back. You know, some days are worse than others and you can't do anything but live, I guess. So there are a couple different ways you get scoliosis. My scoliosis was called idiopathic scoliosis, or basically meaning there was no reason for it. It was a freak accident of nature. I grew too fast, something, I don't know. There's no rhyme or reason for it. There is also genetic scoliosis, which, as far as we could tell, and I have a pretty good family history, like I can tell my family history for generations back, and as far as we could tell, nobody on my family had scoliosis. And then I also read, while doing research for this video, I read that like diseases that like affect your muscles, like cerebral palsy or muscular dystrophy, I hear those can also lead to having scoliosis. But to be honest, most cases of scoliosis have no cause. They're like mine. They're just freak accidents, just happen to happen. So, real quick, before we get into anything else, I want to address something. I did a lot of research for this video, despite already having, you know, a lot of information about the disease previous. In my research, I found that a lot of websites, like especially websites that like doctors contribute to and stuff, like WebMD and the Mayo Clinic, a lot of them say that mild scoliosis does not cause pain. I find that to be a bunch of malarkey. I know a couple people who have mild scoliosis, and each of them has told me that they deal with a lot of pain on a pretty regular basis. And so I just want to tell you that if you are out there and you're watching this video and you have mild scoliosis and people tell you that you're not supposed to have pain, your pain is valid. Do not let anyone ever tell you that your pain is not valid. So what are some of the ways that scoliosis is treated? Well, first, usually the first line of defense, especially if you have very mild scoliosis, is a brace. A brace is this like plastic like thing that forms to your body, and it keeps you straight essentially. I had to wear one for about a month after my surgery, and I haven't had to wear one since. I know people, I went to high school with a girl who had to wear hers for years, and most people who have mild scoliosis who don't get the surgery have to wear them for years in order to correct the curvature. And then next is the surgery, which is what I had. And what they do is they, like I said earlier, they take your spine and they break it essentially, and they take bone. They took bone from my my rib, and they put it in between each disc, fused each disc together, and then took the pins and put the rods in on each side of the spine. I wish I had a post-op x-ray to show you guys, but alas, I have not. There are also holistic methods like chiropractors and stuff, but they're not proven to work, and I suggest to everyone, I tell everyone I come across on Tumblr that asks me or whatever, please, 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 please do not go to a chiropractor for your first line of defense if you find out you have scoliosis. Please go see a regular doctor, and then if your regular doctor suggests going to a chiropractor, or you ask your doctor and your doctor says is it okay, then you can go. Please, please be under the supervision of an actual MD before you do anything like that. So, scoliosis affects 2 to 3% of the American population. That's approximately 7 million people. 7 million people live with scoliosis. So, I encourage you guys to do some more research if you want some more information, because even if you don't have scoliosis, you probably know somebody who does, or did, or if you're a teen, you probably definitely at least go to school with somebody who does. So I will leave some links in the description box to get you guys started. I love doing that with smoke. It's really ridiculous. So that's our show for this week. If you guys liked this video, please subscribe for more, since this is my first video and I'm so excited to get subscribers. And also, because this is a talk show, leave me some ideas of things you want to see discussed or you want to discuss. If you guys want to talk more, if you want to hit me up, I will leave all of my social networks in the description box. You can hit me up. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye!